Wariness is the true measure of a monster. Don't go in there, it's dangerous.
Hello everyone, you're welcome to yet another week of movie reviews brought to you by Business Day. As usual, my name is Linda and I'll be your host.
Don't go in there, it's dangerous.
Today I'll be talking about a well talked of movie called Venom.
We are Venom.
So if you've been watching through the trailers, you'd have seen that there was a good buzz for Venom, marketing was on point, and most people were actually anticipating this blockbuster movie. I think our expectations were really high and they absolutely didn't surpass it. For me, I think the movie was just okay, usual action thriller kind of movie, trying to talk about a superhero who gets some powers in him and tries to help good people and kill bad guys, but didn't really kill it.
I'm Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter. I always seem to find myself questioning something the government may not be looking at.
So this movie, which was directed by David and written by Scott, Kelly, and Jeff, was about 116 minutes long, talked about some rich guy called Drake Clatton, who had a lab where he was experimenting on people and trying to see how he could put aliens in human bodies and send them out of space to the moon to start up another life entirely. There were some things wrong about the movie that didn't actually turn out well. The production was okay, but some scenes were not very realistic and they didn't really edit properly. So some of the action scenes or the alien scenes didn't look so real. Kind of looked very tacky.
I found something really bad. And I have been... Who said that?
So I'll tell you a bit about the movie. So we had Eddie, who was also engaged to his fiancée. Eddie was a TV host. He had a TV show on a very renowned TV station. So he went about investigating companies and trying to dig deep into some companies that were into some bad kind of business. And his wife, who was also a secret CIA agent, was always in charge or on top of some very secret information. So one day Eddie goes through her system, gets some secret about Drake Clatton, decides to go do an investigative journalism on him, and that's when everything goes bad. You know, Eddie loses his job, loses his fiancée, his home, his money, and it all looked like the world was crumbling on Eddie, but that wasn't where the movie started. So Eddie had a friend on the street who used to give him papers, and one day she got missing. Eddie found out from one of the doctors who came to meet him that she wanted him to help save people, that this scientist was actually using them for experiments, which he felt that was weird. So he goes to the lab secretly and he finds his friend who now touches Eddie and passes the venom onto Eddie.
Are disposable, but man and symbiote combined. This is a new race, a new species, a higher life form.
What do you want from me? You'll find out.
I'm so sorry.
The action started from here. So we found out that Eddie had, Eddie was kind of not aggressive with the venom. So the venom went, kind of synchronized well with Eddie's body. So there was a connection or a connectivity between the venom and Eddie was a good host. So Drake, the owner of the lab, decided that he needed Eddie back. Since Eddie was a perfect host, he was going to use Eddie and then send Eddie out of the world out of space, so that they could start up another kind of set of human beings who would have aliens in them. And also, I really didn't understand the storyline. Now, for me, the end was actually the issue. I was wondering how Eddie could have survived with all the fights and issues, and then Drake, who also had another alien in him, couldn't survive. And when I thought it was over and that the venom was gone and Eddie was free, I found out towards the end that the venom was still in Eddie, and they decided to go about killing bad guys and saving good guys. I just felt that the movie should have ended peacefully with this series and not coming up with another one.
We cannot just hurt people.
Look into my eyes, Eddie. The way I see it. We can do whatever we want. Do we have a deal? Eyes, lungs, pancreas, so many snacks, so little time.
But if you do have a contrary verdict to mine, please do feel free to write. For me, I felt there were some things not right about the movie. The action was fine, production was okay, but some parts were just unrealistic and they really dragged for me. I don't think any action movie should really drag over 2 hours.
Just might survive.
Guys, you do not want to do this, trust me.
To my verdict, I'll say Venom deserves a 6/10. Didn't surpass my expectations in any way. I had so much expectations of what the movie would look like and turn out to be, but they didn't kill it for me. If you do want to stand a chance again to win a free movie ticket, make sure you do follow us across our social media handle, which is at BusinessDayNG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure you subscribe to our platforms. And when you subscribe, just make sure you tell a friend about Business Day and you stand a chance to win a free movie ticket. Have a very, very lovely weekend.